Oh my God. People, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is C&J Wrestling Talk. I apologize. We were 16 minutes late trying to get this, trying to get that done, making sure everything's right. But who cares about all that now? This is my show. I am DJ Cass. I am joined on the hosting panel tonight by my man, Jake. Jake,
Yeah, I'm here.
man, dude, I mean, I'm like, we're trying to get the show started, man. Come on, give it the program.
Yep, I'm here, man. It's just having a little more technical difficulties. This time a little lag, but
Like,
hopefully this will be the last one.
shoot, speaking of talking about the last one, I actually thought that was going to be Seth Rollins' last world title reign after last night.
I thought that was Seth Rollins' last night on Earth after what happened Sunday.
Yes, and you heard Jake say we're gonna get into that, and also we're gonna get into Brock Lesnar's possible future with the company, and we're gonna be talking about the mid card championships and the current state, and we're also gonna be giving our predictions on the possible Extreme Rules matches heading into Extreme Rules later on in April. Now, let's go ahead and kick the show off. We kicked off the show, Jake, with Brock Lesnar mad as a you know what, like here's the thing. We all knew the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. It's always crazy. It's always something. We always get debuts. We always get like interesting surprises. But Brock Lesnar, all you need to hear is that man's music, and he just like, especially now Paul Heyman. Of course, he got a good Paul. I'm not going to say much about him, but like, of course, Brock Lesnar, he was furious because he lost the WWE World Heavyweight Championship to Seth Rollins in, ladies and gentlemen, a triple threat match, not a one-on-one match, a triple threat match against Rollins and Reigns. And of course, if we all watched WrestleMania, Rollins actually pinned Reigns to win the belt. Lesnar was never pinned. So, as we got into this segment, Lesnar he wanted his rematch, and he didn't get his rematch like at that time, but we were gonna get it later on the night. But we'll get there. Now, and Stephanie McMahon came out now, cause let me get your thoughts on like the opening, the way Raw opened, and how was the segment effective throughout the night?
I thought the segment was pretty well executed and pretty effective because when you hear
Yes.
Lesnar come out and you hear him come out with him, either somebody's getting sued or getting broken at the same time. But
Yeah, but
I did like the whole segment overall with Lesnar coming out because you don't piss off a beast incarnate. It's like pissing off Satan almost.
yeah, cause yeah, Jack. I mean, like you really gotta think about it, cause like we all knew like once Lesnar realized what happened, he was going to murder Seth Rollins. And ladies and gentlemen, yes, I'm talking. He was going to murder Seth Rollins. Like I said, then Stephanie McMahon came out, and then she tried to calm Brock down. Hey, cuz, let me ask this question though. Like back in the early days, like when we weren't so PG, like would this have been like the way Steph was talking to Lesnar? Do you think we would have seen an F5?
I think we might have seen, Stephanie come out try to calm down Lesnar, but we also would have seen Lesnar curse the living crap out of Stephanie McMahon and then go on a full rampage until Seth Rollins got to the building. I mean, that whole little rampage he did in the middle of the night was nothing compared to what would have happened back in the days of, how you said, the PG-13 era of WWE.
Come on, I'm just saying. I mean, like, like back in the days, like if The Rock was talking to Steph at WrestleMania, we weren't so. If kayfabe wasn't there, we probably would have seen a people's drop elbow on the Stephanie McMahon at WrestleMania. I'm just saying, like, if we weren't so PG, we probably would have seen F5 to Steph because that was the one thing that was coming to my mind.
Yep. But then again, we do understand that WWE has gone PG, and some moments are good, but I'd say we're still grabbing for the glory days of WWE.
Yeah, okay. Well, like I said, all in all, that segment was great. Now, moving on to the card. Now, we kicked off Monday Night Raw with the match, with the first match of the night, and it was Dolph Ziggler versus Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, of course, the new Intercontinental Champion, winning the ladder match at WrestleMania. And cuz, I gotta say, what a match! What a match! I mean, like, what can we really like? We can't really nitpick about this because, like, honestly, Dolph Ziggler really did kind of make sense because, like, remember, like before WrestleMania, Dolph beat Daniel Bryan twice, so yeah, he deserved an Intercontinental title match, and that definitely set the platform. And Bad News Barrett, to me, he was great on commentary, like being great as a heel in general. So, what did you think of the match? And did the right person win?
I thought the right person did win because personally, you can't really have almost two underdogs going at it face to face and have the man that just won the title at WrestleMania lose. Because that basically saying, oh, give him a triple threat match now. Because, like you and me have, talked before in the past, the Intercontinental Championship has meant something in the past, but as of these years of coming, it's kind of meaning nothing anymore. It's kind of just, I beat you, give me a match now. Like, back then, and I know everybody's probably going to say, why is this guy still talking about the glory days of WWE? Because the glory days actually meant something for the company. But
Yeah.
overall, I thought it was a good match, and then our little surprise at the end of the match
It's a shame
was
to
shocking.
be. Oh yeah, definitely was shocking. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what we're talking about, Sheamus made his return in grand fashion. Now, of course, the rumors were going around that Sheamus was going to be coming back as a heel, and of course, as we saw last night, he did when he road kicked both Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler. Now, I gotta say, cause there's definitely opens up possibilities for Sheamus. I mean, think about it, cause now if I had to pick a match for Extreme Rules, I would say either Bryan versus Sheamus for the IC title, or make it easier, maybe do a triple threat between Bryan, Sheamus, and Bad News Barrett in a three-way elimination match.
Yep, because we all know that Mr. B&B does have a contract that does say he does get a rematch clause in it. However, I think if Sheamus wants to be entered into the whole triple threat scene, he does need to prove himself quite a bit because that clock is ticking, and the ticking says Extreme Rules is 4 weeks away, and he just came back. Yes, he does have a tag team match with B&B versus Daniel Bryan and Dolph Ziggler Thursday night on SmackDown, but to really prove himself, he's going to have to get himself up and going in some singles matches, hopefully in these past weeks coming to Extreme Rules.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point that you mentioned, Jake. Now, my thing about Sheamus is let's actually talk about him for a second, because like Sheamus has been a face for 3+ years now, and it's like Sheamus, he's never been a bad ring worker at all. He's always been great. Even when he was a face, he still had some of the best matches. I think back to his world title reign back in 2012 when he took on the Big Show before Big Show ended his reign. I mean, he had a great series of matches with Big Show, and not to mention also with Alberto Del Rio. A lot of people think that Sheamus, he has never been a great mic worker. He's never been like the legit like Irishman that a lot of people portrayed him to be. My whole thing on that is, to me, Sheamus's best run was when he first started. When, like, we all know, like when Sheamus busted on the scene in 2009, like he just ran through John Cena. He ran through everyone on Monday Night Raw. Like he ran through everybody, and
Yep.
really, to me, the downward spiral really won, which is kind of ironic, was when he won the U.S. title from Daniel Bryan, and WWE just didn't know what to do with him. But now, do you think that he can get back to the top? Not necessarily like at the top of the main event scene, but more like back on the top of the mid card. As do you think that his heel run will serve him better as it did when he was a face?
That's a pretty tough question because as a heel, he wasn't that bad as a heel. A lot of people, didn't like him, but a
Mhm.
lot of people liked the way he was as a heel because this is an angry Irishman coming, beating the crap out of everybody, almost like Roddy Piper, but with not as much mic work that a lot of people thought of him. But then when you show him as a face for 3 or more plus years, that doesn't hurt a superstar in his career. It also hurts him, in his performance because you look at it, this guy's been, kind of like a baby. It's like, oh yeah, I eat potatoes raw. I've been with the Muppets on Raw. I mean, what else could you try to do to be tough? But there's no going back. I hate to say it, this whole heel turn for Sheamus and everything, it's it might help him in some kind of way, but otherwise, a lot of people are just going to see him as that guy that was saying, "See you at the family reunion with the Muppets."
So you're basically saying until we actually see Sheamus like do his heel run, there's no hope for him.
I hate to say it, yeah. Until I see the Sheamus that broke kicked Kofi Kingston's head into a ring post, then I'll believe he's a heel and I'll take him seriously. But right now, I can't, especially with that mohawk on top of his head.
Oh my god, the crowd was just chanting like, "You look stupid."
And indeed, he
You
does look
look
stupid.
stupid. He truly did. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on now to the next match of the night, which we actually are going to get into our segment where we had NXT debuts, my friend. Now, we had the debuts of Adrian Neville, or Neville, if you want to get technical, and the Lucha Dragons, Sin Cara and Kalisto finally made their debuts. It was an 8-man tag. The Ascension and the Tag Team Champions Cesaro and Kid took on the Lucha Dragons and New Day, and the Lucha Dragons and New Day came away with the win. Now, because we have watched the Lucha Dragons develop in NXT, former NXT Tag Team Champions, and we've been wanting them to come on to the main roster for a while. I mean, the most matches that we've seen on the main roster was when they were on Main Event and Superstars. But now that they're actually on Monday Night Raw, what kind of build do we see for the Lucha Dragons, and will they be future Tag Team Champions?
That's that's also another tough question because if you look at it, the Lucha Dragons are very successful. They were very successful in NXT. They captured NXT Tag Team Gold
Yeah.
from a very hard fought team. But then again, when you look at it, it's hard to say because not a lot of high flying tag teams like them last long and are able to get tag team gold because it's almost like people can't take high flyers serious enough to give them a chance.
Yeah,
And no,
because,
I'm not
cause, like,
talking.
because here's the thing. I gotta disagree with you there. Because, like, remember when Paul London and Brian Kendrick, they were about the same size as Sin Cara and El Kalisto are, and they held the tag team titles for over 300 days.
Yeah, I understand that, but still, it's almost like when you see high flyers, it's almost like, oh, ha ha, that guy's doing stupid stuff. And yes, I understand Jeff Hardy was an extreme high flyer, and he did capture some pretty intense gold, the WWE and World Heavyweight Championships. But now it's just almost when I see these guys, I think of the dead, weight class of cruiserweights.
Well, darn, because, I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, these two have worked their butts off, but my thing about is, if they are booked correctly, and when I mean by booked correctly, I mean like send them at a team like where that they can look great against. I don't want them feuding with the Ascension because one, we've already seen it and they've already beaten them, so there wouldn't be nothing to prove in. In any case, I think they need to be sent immediately at the tag team championships with like the tag team champions against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd at Extreme Rules. Now they don't need to win the belts. They don't need to win the belts. I'm just saying, like, you put them up against a credible team like those two, they could like already be like legit as a team. But that's if it because it's a curse. Anytime someone from the NXT roster gets brought up to the main roster, they immediately go down the crapper.
Yep, look at Bo Dallas, look at their ascension, and Hell, look at a bunch of other people. The only person I actually believe that was good coming from NXT was Bray Wyatt, and now look at him.
Did Bray Wyatt actually work in NXT?
Yes, he did. He actually, well, actually, you might know him from his first NXT appearance as
Husky
Husky
Harris.
Harris. Yep.
Yeah.
So he was one of the NXT originals. Came up to WWE. Thought I need to work on my craft a little bit more. Went down to NXT again and created the Bray Wyatt character. It was good, everything. He came to WWE, perfect coming to face Kane, you know, knock off the big red monster
It was
that
a bad
basically
match.
scares. It was a bad match, but it was a good, good arrival for him because it's saying, hey, look at me. I just knocked off somebody that you all think is still supposed to be scary. Look how I am. I'm scary. But now his whole career, boom.
Well, don't worry, people. We will get to that topic. But back to the NXTers. Like we also had another debut in Adrian Neville or Neville, if you want to get technical. Like seriously, like what is it? What is up with Vince McMahon and changing the names? Like Adrian Neville to me would have been fine, but anyway, like of course it was Adrian Neville versus Curtis Axel later on the night, and like you said, he made his debut, and this is not our first time seeing Adrian. Now, of course, former NXT champion, the longest reigning NXT champion in history right now, and like I said, I don't really have much to say since I've already seen it, but seeing him finally debut on Raw, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he can do. My concern is, which is the same with the Lucha Dragons, if he is booked correctly.
Yep. Because that is an important thing. This guy, he, I, he's almost a mix of. I know a lot of people are not gonna like this. He's almost a mix of John Cena with Evan Bourne. He's got the high flying ability. You never know what's gonna happen next. But then again, he's got the focus and the mental stability to capture gold. Because he's not only thinking, "Oh yeah, here's what I'm gonna do to make the crowd love me even more." He's thinking about, "Okay, I got the crowd on my side, and now I'm going for the championship. Here's what I gotta do next."
That's definitely going to be one thing that I will be looking forward to from Neville later on down the line. But anyway, like moving on into Monday Night Raw, we finally get to the 9 o'clock hour, and we have a WWE World Heavyweight Title match. It was supposed to be Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. We all knew we weren't going to get it because, like I said, I told Jake this earlier. I'm like, as soon as that bell rings, I will believe it. But the bell hasn't rung yet, so don't get too excited. But yeah, like Seth Rollins, of course, the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion now. I think it's safe to say that man grew a set of balls last night because like he just like took that belt and he just stuffed it like right in Brock Lesnar's face. Like he did not care. Like he was just glad that he was the champion. I don't know what the heck
Yep.
he was thinking, but
I hope Seth Rollins believes in heaven and hell because he just pissed off the Beast Incarnate, or as you might call him, Brock Lesnar.
you gotta say it like that. Yeah, and of course, like once that, like Seth Rollins, of course, he was like saying, "I'm a little winded from New York, from the plane to New York and getting back here, so I'm a little tired. I'm gonna give you your rematch tonight." And of course, once Lesnar heard that, he just went off. Let's just dissect this. Like he went off on Seth Rollins. JJ Security tried to save him. He takes out those two, but Seth Rollins, I mean, like he just hightailed. He got his butt out of there. Like he just ran,
Yep.
took his belt, and Lesnar. Once he saw Rollins was gone, oh my God, you talk about carnage. Like he took over the announce table, took out Michael Cole, JBL, and Booker T. He F5'd Michael Cole, which I think. Like I honestly think Michael Cole probably lost 30 pounds after that, and like of course like he attacks a cameraman for no reason, and he just gives him the F5. And then Stephanie McMahon, she comes down and tries to calm Brock down, and I don't know why she would do that, but like, and like she tries to tell Brock, "Don't worry, you'll get your revenge, you'll get your revenge." But Brock did not give her, you know what? He was like, "If you're not gonna give me what I want, I'm gonna I'm gonna hold this show hostage." And honestly, it did kind of feel hostage for the because I believe this segment lasted about 8 minutes.
Yep, I believe so. But speaking of the segment, he's my he did what Jim Ross and JBL might call a bull in a china shop session because he destroyed everything and anything in sight. He destroyed over J&J Security, threw him over to the international announce table. He
Yeah,
F5 Michael Cole, which everybody really, cheered.
yeah,
Nobody was actually doing that.
yeah. Thank you.
And then, like you said, the poor cameraman was almost basically like saying, "Oh, what? You want to film me? You want to film me? Nobody gets to film me. F5 to you."
Yeah, like I said, this like I'm not even gonna say nothing was bad about this segment. It was great. It was great in every single way. Now, and Stephanie McMahon, she proceeded and like, Brock Lesnar, you are suspended indefinitely, and that was my funniest part. Like as soon as he said that, she immediately ran to the back because, like, honestly,
Yep.
would you want to be the guy to say that to Brock after looking at him like that last night?
Nobody wants to say it. That's probably why she left, because understanding this is the beast. I mean, we know it's a PG show, but he'll still F5 Stephanie McMahon for some obscene reason.
Yeah, like I said, nothing was bad about this segment. And cuz you have any thoughts on how this segment was done?
I thought, the segment was well executed because, we all knew Seth Rollins was coming to the building soon enough. We didn't know when, but
By the way, guess what? He was actually backstage.
of course.
Anyway, go ahead.
But we understood that he was, like you said, in the building, and I'm glad it happened. But like you and me said earlier, it should have been done at the end of the show because
Yeah,
that would have been
definitely.
one hell of a closer. It would have been like the cliffhanger of WWE. EF5's Michael Cole, F5's the cameraman. Stephanie McMahon says, "You're suspended indefinitely." Screen goes black. Perfect ending to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, but of course, don't worry, Jay. We will get there. We will get there. But now, moving on from that, and it was Damian Mizdow versus Stardust, and like I said, this match wasn't anything special, but Mizdow, from what we saw at WrestleMania, for those who didn't see it, finally turned on Miz for the love of God. Took too long, but like now, it seems like he's gonna be on his own from this point out. Considering what Miz did, the funniest thing that I found was like they played the music, but they played the Miz's music when he stood triumphant, even though that's Damien Mizdow's music. Yeah, but
It's
like
a pretty
cause
interesting segment. Go get to.
yeah,
Yep.
definitely. Now where do you see Mizdow going from here?
Hope I hate to say it, but this whole Mizdow charade and everything, it's gonna have to come to an end soon. I don't know what he's gonna do next or what is gonna happen next, but I hate to say it, this might be the end of Mizdow's career coming to an end. Because if you look at somebody else who did this, and some people might not know who he is, but
Charlie
a
Haas.
man, yep, a man named Charlie Haas, coming out in different superstars each week, and then Mizdow going in to different characters each week. Backstage comes out still Mizdow. Wiz Khalifa here, Wiz Khalifa's twin. I mean, I just don't understand.
Yeah, I actually am concerned for Mizdow. Reason being is because I was so scared. Like, here's the thing: I would love for a Mizdow push, but the only problem is the only reason that the Mizdow gimmick has worked for Damian Sandow is because like is because really, technically, him being the stunt double with the Miz, I don't think WWE really expected that gimmick to really go anywhere, especially when they became tag team champions. But yeah, I am scared for him a bit because it's like you said, this gimmick is gonna have to come to an end soon because it really wouldn't make much sense for him to call himself Damian Mizdow when he is no longer associated with Miz.
I just hope and pray to God he doesn't get into the wrong crowd and call himself Damien Daydown. Oh God, please don't let the New Day scoop him up.
Good
Or,
God.
or I don't know. Maybe he might go to the Lucha Dragons, become Damien Lucha Down.
Jake, don't give him any ideas, please. Don't give
Oh
him any
God.
ideas. But yeah, moving on now. Of course, John Cena became the new United States champion at WrestleMania, knocking off Rusev, and it was an open challenge. It was John Cena versus who of all people, the Lunatic Friends, Dean Ambrose. Now, I'm not saying anything bad. This match was awesome. I don't care who says it wasn't. This match was great. And the only thing I can think about throughout this match, imagine if we would have gotten this back in October when they were actually having problems.
That actually would have been a perfect match because the whole thing that was supposed to happen, Cena versus Dean Ambrose at Hell in a Cell. Winner goes on to face Seth Rollins inside Hell in a Cell. Would have been perfect down to the T. That would have made that pay-per-view so much better. But instead, contract on a pole match that lasted at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, but like the match to me was great. Now you and me were talking earlier on how like you didn't like the fact that Dean Ambrose was the one who answered the challenge from John Cena.
No,
You
I
still stick by
really
that?
didn't. Well, actually, I'm not because thinking about it now, it's just giving me kind of, ideas because a lot of people said Rusev was supposed to come out, get us a rematch. I don't think Rusev's to come out yet.
Yeah,
He
no.
needs to regroup like he did later on in the night, but we'll get to that. He needs to regroup, think of a new strategy because if this is a first pinfall lost, and a lot of people were thinking, oh, Rusev's streak, it's over. Actually, that's 1/3 of a streak. He, I believe he lost by disqualification before. He's lost by pinfall now, but however, he has not lost by submission.
So you think, and you had a theory, John Cena versus Rusev at Extreme Rules for the United States title in a submission match.
Yes, because this whole thing, I hate to say it, like Damien Mizdows whole charade, it's coming to an end soon. Because, like a lot of people have heard of the theories and everything, SummerSlam is supposed to be the period where the United States champion and the Intercontinental champion collide into one unification match. But if that's to happen, there cannot be Cena versus, Rusev going into match after match after match, and then it can't be Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus going into match after match after match in each pay-per-view. It's got to have some kind of variety. They've got to go through different people, so then when they actually go to SummerSlam, there's no one else for them to face but each other.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that. And now, like, real quick, back to Dean Ambrose, real quick. I mean, he hasn't really won. I mean, honestly, like when he lost and like John Cena was coming to him, I honestly thought he was gonna turn heel. That would have been perfect to me because, like, honestly, to me, he really has to look inside himself now because, like, the whole lunatic fringe thing, like, Jake, let's be real here. I mean, he has not won a feud since breaking away from the Shield. Like, how much success has he really had since his departure from the Shield? I mean, this has got to be frustrating for him. Like, he really needs to like assess and like think about it. This lunatic friends thing may not be working. I probably need to be a lot more focused. Like, I need to start like winning, like win feuds. I mean, he got buried by Bray Wyatt for some strange reason, and now he loses to John Cena for the United States title, he lost straight up clean. And now if he goes back to not being frustrated about this, he's just going to keep doing his thing, then he definitely needs to reassess his character because it's not working.
Yep, unfortunately, it really isn't because when you think of Dean Ambrose, yeah, you think this guy sucks at wrestling. Why is he still here? Why has he not gone down to NXT and rethought of himself? The only thing that's keeping him in WWE right here today is the fans. I hate to say it, it's the fans. Everybody loves this guy from young kids to grown men and grown women. Why they love him, I'll never understand because this is a guy that loses and he's crazy. He's crazier than Willy Wonka on, you know, maybe some type of drugs. But
Oh,
however,
man.
this guy has not this guy has not won a match since Bray Wyatt
On
match
Tribute to the
out of the whole
Troops.
feud. Yeah, and that, and if you count that as a match, I salute you. I salute you if you count that as a match because
I see what
that
you
to
did
me,
there. I
that to
see what
me
you
was
did.
it was not considered a match. That was considered yes, a tribute to the troops
Yeah, yeah,
of a
yeah,
match,
yeah,
but
but Jake,
still,
yeah, but Jake, here's the thing. I mean, you know the reason why people love Dean Ambrose is because he's crazy. Like he breaks the rules. Like that's one of the things I think that's gotten him over, and what that kind of gives him like a get out of jail free card because it's like no matter how many times he loses, people are still gonna pop the guy. I mean, look at Undertaker. He lost last year. And people are saying he's getting old, but people at WrestleMania still pop for Taker.
yep. But somehow, some way, I, this guy has either better start winning matches as a heel, or sooner or later he's gonna have to rethink his entire character. Because
Yeah.
no matter how many times he tries to become a heel, everybody's still gonna love him no matter what.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, while we're seeing that, let's go ahead and move on to our little segment that we've been trying to do, like the Intercontinental United States Championship. Now, of course, Brian, the IC champion, John Cena, the US champ. Now, and Cuz just lay it out. I'm trying to prepare for this unification match that we could possibly get for the SummerSlam main event. I would love to see it, but now, what kind of booking are we looking for Brian and Cena as the IC and US champ for WWE?
I think the type of booking they need is the booking where you see not you understand that Cena says, "Oh yeah, I want to be a fighting champion," but if you beat all these people at once, week after week after week, and Raw and SmackDown, you're gonna have no people left to face, and that just becomes a huge gap all the way till SummerSlam. However, if you have them not fight at all, it takes away the purpose of being a fighting champion. The perfect booking is to have them, fight every, I believe, 2 weeks on Raw. Don't have them go to SmackDown. Just have them fight every 2 weeks on Raw, and maybe on SmackDown once a week or something. Maybe not once a week, every 2 weeks or so, and then that'd be perfect. However, on Daniel Bryan's case, I think they need to do the same thing with Bryan because, like I said, he'll just run through them instantly. Nobody else for him to face.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean this is gonna be a tough situation for WWE because think about it, they have three consecutive champions. Ron's the world champion, Brian the IC champion, John Cena the US champion. I mean think about it because they now have to focus on putting three storylines to get those titles to mean so. Because think about it, they're not gonna leave John Cena without a storyline. They're not gonna leave Daniel Bryan without something to do. I mean like, and they're definitely not gonna leave Rollins with something to do. And we were talking about this earlier on how like who could be like legit challengers to make me believe like, okay, yes, I think John Cena is going to lose this match to this up and comer, or I'm going to lose this match. I'm going to lose this match to actually no, I'm going to beat Daniel Bryan for the IC title. And Rollins, I'm not really too concerned about Eric because I'm thinking we might get Rollins versus Orton at Extreme Rules or Rollins versus Reigns and Orton in a triple threat. But anyway, back to the two titles now. I mean, we said earlier that Sheamus could go for the IC title, but honestly, like, who could go for the US title once Rusev's done with it? Because you know he's not going to be battling for that thing for 5 months leading up to SummerSlam.
Nope, I give him until Payback. But then again, that is a good start. However, there is,
Yeah,
I believe one more pay-per-view and then SummerSlam.
yeah,
Then
it's
he,
Money in the Bank.
th yep, and then, but then again, that is a good start to it because, you know, it's basically, bam, okay, yeah, he gets two pay-per-view matches perfectly fine going into Money in the Bank. However, the only person I could maybe see going for the United States title again. Hmm. Actually, I don't have a thought of anybody going for the United States title because somehow everybody's going for the IC championship.
Yeah, that is true. I will say the United States Championship doesn't have the same prestige as the Intercontinental title. I'm not even going to go all the way back to when the US title was brought in WCW technically, but like, yeah, they have a tough task on their hands, and they better not drop. They cannot drop the ball on this. They really cannot drop because like they have put too much work into trying to put both those titles on Bryan and Cena. So all that work that they put in, they're now going to have to go forward with it because Daniel Bryan cannot lose to some jobber. Cena can't lose to some jobber. So yeah, but honestly, if I have a theory, cause how about this? We talked about earlier on how Dean Ambrose he could possibly turn heel. Why not have after Rusev? Why not have Dean Ambrose turn heel and battle Cena for the championship again?
That could work, but like I said before, it will be the most challenging thing to try to get Dean Ambrose to become heel and actually have the fans boo him. Because
Oh yeah,
basically, basically in the company and to everybody else, he is still a heel. He's still, kind of a heel almost, but then again, he's basically a face. No matter how much of a heel he tries to act, he's a face. Everybody loves him. That would be the challenging part of it all. Unless unless you get some kind of intensity or power into him. Because yes, we've seen he's crazy. He brings a buttload of chairs into the ring, uses them all. If he's able to do that, and instead of doing some stupid high flying move, just starts beating the living crap out of Cena. But then again, that still makes him a face no matter what.
yeah. That now thinking about it, that makes a whole lot of sense. I guess I just hope they go in the right direction with those mid-card championships. But anyway, moving on to you don't want to talk about the six diva tag match.
Nope, I do not want to talk about the Six Stevens tag match.
Well,
I
okay,
know.
okay. How about
I,
this? How about this? We won't talk about the match, but we'll talk about the people in it. Now, like, I would assume that Nikki Bella is gonna drop the belt at Extreme Rules next month, and also like this whole hashtag Give Divas a Chance thing. Who would have thought that WWE would actually go in the direction of giving it? Because have you noticed they've had 10 minutes of ring time, and that includes no entrances during commercial break. That includes actually getting commercial breaks and coming back into the match. I mean, yeah, I would think that this whole hashtag give divas a chance to actually open WWE's eyes and actually give the divas what they truly need to make them special. Because, guys, we can sit here and we can talk about the NXT divas like all day long. We love
yep.
them. Like we've been like begging for months on how like the NXT divas they get good booking, but the main roster divas they don't get great booking. And now I think WWE they have finally seen that, but like they're taking baby steps right now. They're trying to see how it plays out because they got to
Yep.
see what works and what doesn't work when it comes to the main roster divas. Do you think it's been effective?
I think it's been effective little by little because, yes, it has given them more time to, kind of work on their craft, do, some more moves that a lot of people haven't seen in their repertoire. You know, wep- it's kind of difficult for me to say repertoire of
Yeah.
the divas, but however, it's it's still working little by little. You still They still need to, it's almost like a two-way giver street. We're giving you a chance to, get a little more airtime. At least give us some type of good match. The Six Divas tag match, I tolerated it, but it was not the best match that they could give.
Yeah, that definitely is true. Like I said, as far as the whole give divas a chance thing, every single one of those divas last night actually put in some real work. Actually, did you notice Paige didn't even get in the match?
I was
Yeah,
shocked.
yeah, that's true. But anyway, moving on from that, let's go ahead and get to the main event. It was a six-man tag team match. It was the Authorities, Big Show and Kane, and the new champ Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton, the big guy, Ryback, and believe that, Roman Reigns. Now, this match, the main event was kind of like, it kind of felt like a regular Raw main event to me, as opposed to what kind of main event we would get at the end of Raw, especially if it's the night after WrestleMania. I mean, the match was okay. It was fine. Oh, and by the way, people, Big Show won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal for some strange reason.
However, however he did it on
Yeah,
personally, I don't think he should have won that match.
no, he shouldn't have. He really shouldn't have. But like now, like as the match progressed, of course we all know Roman Reigns. Like under all that vest and all this old shield attire, he was beaten, battered, and bruised from that being. Like, how could he not feel nothing after the whooping he took from Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? Yeah, he had to take some kind of like ibuprofen or something. Maybe that probably wasn't even enough. But like, yeah.
Oh,
And of
oh
course,
my
it
God.
was Randy Orton, Ryback, and Roman Reigns getting the win, of course, and Seth Rollins hightailing it. Now, I don't know if it was just me or not, but did anyone feel that the show ended flat? Like nothing special really happened.
Yeah, I thought it ended flat because, you know, it'd be perfect if I know, uh, Brock Lesnar
You gotta say
was
that.
suspended indefinitely, however long however long Stephanie McMahon decided and paid a fine and is paying a fine. But I think at least they should have had his music hit and scare him because he's running up the ramp scared. Have the music hit, turn around, have nobody there, and then when he tries to run outside, get in his car, have Lesnar waiting for him.
Oh yeah, that would have been interesting. Or how about this? How about have like Brock actually come out? Like have him not like legitimately leave, but more like I'm gonna sneak back into the building because I'm gonna get my hands on Seth Rollins for what he did to me at WrestleMania and for him conning me out. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, that Brock Lesnar segment. I think it should have been put at the end of the show because, like, I mean, there was really nothing special about the ending of Raw. That would be my only gripe with this episode was that the fact that I expected something to happen at the end. I expected something. And because you got my text last night, I actually kind of called this. I was hoping for Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and The Undertaker versus The Authority.
Oh man, the, the day I see Undertaker on Raw, I'll be the happiest man on earth
Hey,
because
because hey, we saw Brock Lesnar on Raw for the first time in a
we
decade.
we've seen him actually do some work in his actual ring attire and his gear, but however it wasn't a full match. But however we did see Undertaker in a six-man tag match. I believe then the night after
No,
uh
no. It was a week after it was the week after WrestleMania. Because remember, that was when the Shield took on Daniel Bryan, Kane, and the Undertaker in a six-man tag team match.
yep. But however, that was on I believe SmackDown,
No, it
wasn't it?
was on Raw. Remember, we were in England.
Oh yeah, okay. But oh man, the Undertaker coming back to Raw. puts a whole new thing in perspective because you talk about having big guys. This is the biggest guy, and the ring is his yard.
Hey, how about this? How about the Where is the Big Show?
Nope,
you,
nope,
you
nope.
you forgot that, man. But like, cause we talk about the Undertaker, let's actually take some time and let's talk about the dead man. Of course, at WrestleMania, he made his epic return, Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt, and Undertaker, cause honestly, he looked great in that match. I mean, he honestly looked like 5 years younger. I think
Yep.
the heat. I mean, it was a combination of like the 2005 interior with the American with the dead man gimmick because I noticed he brought back the pants. So yeah, it was definitely the bad you know what to the dead man gimmick. But yeah, um,
Yep.
his match with Bray Wyatt. I know we're going off the subject because we're supposed to talk about Raw. We're gonna discuss Mania for a bit. Like yeah, the ring quality in that match, we know it wasn't gonna be good. I wasn't expecting anything
Nope.
spectacular out of the Undertaker and Bray Wyatt match, but it was fine for what I got. Now on to Bray Wyatt. Where does Bray Wyatt go from here? And by the way, people, I won the bet, so that way I don't have to tell Cuz he was right. Thank goodness. But yeah, where does Bray Wyatt go from here, man?
I have no clue. And yes, I will admit it, you were right that Undertaker would win. However, I also told him if Bray Wyatt if Bray Wyatt lost, the whole I'm the new face of fear that DJ Cass believed would actually work if Undertaker shook his hands, that is now out the window. That's 10 miles down the street out of a glass window because his his career as the face of fear, it's done. Gonzo, dead, whatever you want to call it, buried in dirt with cement on top of it.
I think you actually tried to call this. You thought we were going to get a buried alive match. To me, think about it, that would have made a lot of sense, to be honest with you. But like, yeah, I'll admit I am scared for Bray Wyatt. And what does this mean for him? Because like, here's the thing. I'm going to stick by my guys. I still think that match served purpose with the Undertaker. Because like Bray Wyatt, I think he came out credible. I think he's honestly going to be fine from this point. But like of course, he wasn't at Raw last night because I don't know if you heard this, but he kind of sprained his ankle trying to train for the match at Mania. But yeah, as far as Bray Wyatt's concerned, I just hope that. I mean, think about it. This guy, honestly, you talk about getting buried. This is the second time in a year in a row that he has been buried at WrestleMania, which is so concerning.
And we're talking about the dead man, the man that went into WrestleMania 30 and actually lost to Brock Lesnar in a streak-ending match. But that still proves my point because what's going to happen to the Undertaker now? The streak, it's somehow going.
Sneak and Taker.
Like people, yep, somehow it's still going. People believe it. It's like, oh, that one, that's nothing. That one is nothing. JBL and Michael Cole and King said it 22 and 1. Nobody is going to forget that one at the end of the streak.
Yeah, but did
It
you
would have been
notice, like in the match at Mania, they didn't even mention the streak not one time, which I actually liked.
because then it would have made fans and people watching at home think, oh, we want Bray Wyatt to win now because the streak is dead.
Shoot,
Undertaker's got nothing left.
shoot, Bray Wyatt, he should have won, honestly.
Exactly, which proves my point. He should have won. He he should have won. He should have been able to be the new face of fear in WWE, and then he should have been able to end the Undertaker's career at in a WrestleMania standpoint. But however, shoulda, woulda, coulda, because all that happened was fairy tale fantasy for Bray and the creative team. Because
Yeah,
as we see, Undertaker still got the streak going, 22 and 1.
yeah, that is true. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and end this episode of C&J Wrestling Talk. Jake, did you have anything you wanted to add? Did we miss out on anything?
Let's see. I think we covered all the bases of Mania and last night's Raw.
Okay, well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm DJ Kaz and my man Jake, and we will see you here next week. Peace out.